Hi there, I'm Kim Castle, co-creator of BrandU and an entrepreneur just like you. I know exactly what you go through every day. I know the highs, I know the lows, and I know the uh-ohs. I've been on this entrepreneurial journey for nearly 20 years. Along the way, I've had the good fortune to work with some really big brands like IBM, Wolfgang Puck, M&M's, Disney, as well as hundreds of startups. I don't say small because to me, there is no such thing as a small business. Today, big comes in lots of sizes. My aim is to give you practical insights and tangible steps so that you can prove that every day. This is your Power Blast.
These days, many people are feeling like they've lost something. Either their money in the stock market, faith in the economy, people aren't buying. It could have you feeling like you've lost a lot, in addition to your confidence in yourself and your business. So this week I'd like to talk about what is it that we really have to recapture and where is it? Is it outside or is it inside? I was watching a television show the other day, probably the best television show on television on the Sundance Channel, called Iconoclasts, where they team up two very notable people, either in business, in the world, and entertainment, and they pair the two together for an illuminating conversation that unfolds. And I was watching a conversation between Tony Hawk, which is probably the world's best skateboarder, and Jon Favreau, an up-and-coming director who just directed Iron Man, his very first, $100 million feature. And it was a very fascinating conversation. But what really brought to mind, it was something that Tony Hawk said when he was at the X Games and he was pushing himself to do the first 980 or whatever the turn was that nobody ever had accomplished. And he kept at it and he kept at it, and the film crew kept going, even went past the television schedule, because he kept trying, and he attempted it about 5, 6, 7 times on air, and he finally did it. And he said on Iconoclast, he said what drove him and what really drove him in that event, as well as every step he's taken in his business, was a passion. Now, it's easy to hear passion, to go, yeah, I'm searching for passion, or I have passion. I'm not talking about it in a way that you're normally accustomed to hearing about it. I'm talking about it from a place of, he wasn't saying he was striving for a passion outside of him. It was something inside. He said when he accomplished it, the only satisfaction was for himself. It wasn't about what it accomplished in terms of how much money it'll make him or how much acclaim it'll get him. It was for something that drove him inside, something that he knew was accomplishable. It was something that drove him to keep going until it was accomplished. And it got me thinking about when I was a synchronized swimmer. That's right, I was one of those cute, perky women in the water, smiling and splashing around. And I started when I was 7 years old, and I was in the pool 7 days a week, and on weekends 8 hours each day on the weekend. And that went on for about 8.5 years. And I remember after practice, something inside of me would cause me to go into the Olympic-sized pool, the lap pool, and do underwater laps to see how much farther I could make it underwater to expand my lung capacity. Now, the coach didn't tell me to do it. It was something that drove me inside, a personal best. And every time I would meet that goal or push beyond, there was something inside of me that made me still strong. And it's that feeling that I'm inviting you this week to connect with. Not in a passion that says I'm going to make a lot of money. Not even in a passion of I'm going to help a lot of people. But it's a personal best. It's a force that drives you inside. And that is what you're going to need to really make sure that you're going to weather the turbulent times that we're beginning to see now, and I believe will continue for several years. It's that passion that drives you so that you're not looking at what's going on around you. You know, you're being guided by what goes on inside. It's that personal best. So I invite you this week to look at that place inside of you, that place of real passion that you would do no matter what. You would stand on a street corner and you would do. And you would do, and you'd do, and you'd do it from the mountaintops, and you'd do it from the rooftops. And it's from that place that you'll succeed.
Thank you for watching Power Blast. If you want to get it hot out of the oven, as well as tips, strategies, and answers on how to reliably grow your business from idea to brand to sales, subscribe to one of the feeds at blog.brandu.com to be a part of a growing community of conscious entrepreneurs, each dedicated to changing the world by creating a whole and successful business. Be sure to comment and let me know what you want Vito and I to cover. Consider yourself blasted.